sir, the next question is from Arshdeep Singh. He says, having your roots in a village and being from a Kisan family from Shekhawati, how do you see Indian agriculture evolving over time and what is the outlook for the future?
If our economy has grown, credit goes to the farmer. Indian farmer by nature is very hardworking, very committed. I am from a village, my roots are in the village and my roots are intact. We have seen a big change in the village now. If you go to the village, you have road connectivity. When I was a student, there was no road, no electricity, no tap water, no internet connectivity. All these are there in the village now. But agriculture poses a challenge. The land holdings are shrinking. So we have to add value to the product. We have to have multi-cropping systems. And that can happen when there is cluster development. I must share with young minds, I am absolutely pained and I am deeply anguished that farm sector intellectual leadership has failed. We can't afford our farmers to be on streets. Someone has to guide them. They come with an agenda on the street, block the highways. That is not a farmer should be doing. And they are doing it out of ignorance, I can tell you. All steps that have been taken by the government are aimed at improving the lives of farmers. If you look into PM Kisan Nidhi Samman, every year, 3 times, a farmer will get 2,000 rupees each, 6,000 rupees a year. The total amount that has gone into the sector is more than 2,20,000 crores at the moment. I want farmers to change with the times. I want farmers to go for latest equipment, and they are going. In areas like Jaisalmer and Badmer that were not attraction for any farmer are now turning out to be a great boon for the farmer. So while the government is doing so much for the farmer has also to respond. It is time that farmers get into a cooperative, farmers get into cluster zone, and the day is not far that the farmer will not be required to go to a mandi to sell his produce. The one who has to buy will come to the farmer. This can happen when farmers in a village are organized in a cluster. Secondly, the price of the farm produce has to be determined by the farmer. It cannot be determined by someone else who is trading in farm produce. Government has taken number of initiatives. I only urge my farmer friends, I urge particularly farmer leaders, I make earnest appeal to representatives of the people who belong to farm sector. Please put the farm sector on the right track. If farmers organize themselves, block highways on issues that are not germane to farming, it is not a healthy development. I have no doubt that leadership in farmers will come up to that level soon enough. I will give you one illustration. When we have more produce of a particular, let's say vegetable, we have, let's say, we have tomatoes. Now, they have a life. A tomato by nature will have a self life. If it is not traded with in that area, if it is not kept in a secure place, it becomes a waste. That is very frustrating for the farmer. I had a good idea from a brilliant farm leader, a young man. He said quinoas are produced in Haryana and Punjab, very high quality, but they don't last long. And there is a heavy consumption in places like Goa. So they have tied up with that government. The produce will be immediately sent. It will be in cold storage and used. So that has to take place. But imagine there will be no need to be worried about tomatoes not being sold because it has been a very good crop. You add value to that tomato there in a cluster, and you will see wonderful results. So things are happening in the right direction. Let me tell my young friends, when India took the initiative to have International Millet Year, it was not without positive consequence for the farm sector. Now millets that are grown extensively in our country are the main favorite item on the table. So much is being done, but it depends on young people, impressionable minds, how they take a big leap even for the farm sector, and once they do it, things will be dramatic and revolutionary.
Sir, in the next question, Akanksha Sangwan asks, are there specific scholarships or grants available to support women athletes in accessing quality education and research opportunities?
In last few years, sports has received indulgent attention. There have been number of affirmative policies. And before we come to education and research, if a sports person, a boy or a girl, has a talent, you will be surprised. There are no handicaps. They will get a trainer from abroad. They will get a training abroad. And that is why India is performing much better in international competition fora. It is doing much. Sports as a category is a class when admissions are accorded in education institutions and when opportunities are given in government. Nearly all state governments and the central government have a special reservation for employment for those who have done something in sports. Even in Rajya Sabha, I can tell you, we had a wrestler. She was interested in particular equipment. We are attending to it. She took time in telling us, but we will not take time in executing it. So there is an ecosystem in the country that when we are 1/6 of humanity, our share in sports at a global level should at least be 1/6. It is rising, but not at that level in that proportion. So it will happen. But there are opportunities available, and I am sure idea is to find out those opportunities. I can tell my young friends, there are number of opportunities that are available, but somehow or the other, young minds are not known to them. I had the occasion go to the Naval Academy in the south. They have an engineering college. You get admitted to that engineering college and you get an easy passage to Navy. But all that we know at the moment is to get into Navy at the official level, you have to go through the NDA. But this is another area you can go through. So there are a number of avenues. I have put it in a missionary mode to ensure that young minds come to know of the opportunities that are available for admission to institutions and scholarships. And Sansad TV will be doing it extensively in coming days.
The next question from Sangeeta Bharti Das once again focuses on the national education policy. She asks, can the new education policy help to harness the untapped potential of ex-defense personnel in shaping the youth of the country?
Ex-defense personnel are the most valuable resource of the country, and they are in two categories. One is the officers who after retirement come into mainstream public life. Others are those who join at Jawan level, a valuable human resource. They get trained. They are ever prepared to lay down like their lives for the motherland. But they retire when they are in their prime youth. We have a separate department of rehabilitation of such people. Several innovative schemes have come. Earlier there was a mechanism which is still there, that if public sector will have transport facilities to be outsourced, then those connected with defense will get priority. That is happening. recruitment areas also are also there. But I would say this is a huge potential. This potential is available in every nook and corner of the country. This needs to be more harnessed, and this can be harnessed to see that a school in the village, a primary health center in the village, Anganwadi in the village functions appropriately. We can use this rich human resource, and I am sure it's a good idea which must be acted upon. I will also take steps whatever I can at my level to see that it gets on track.